Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the full moon reading for the sign of Cancer. We're going to get right into it and get your animal spirit card out from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. How you doing, Cancer, my lovely crabs? How are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well. This is the full moon reading. Full moon readings are all about harvest time. Seeing the fruits of your labor. What have the seeds that you've sown, what have they grown? It talks about it's a time for taking stock, reevaluating your plan, your goal, your path, right? So it can be a time of changes as well, right? So let's get right into your wild animal spirit. What's going on for Cancer? What spirit do we have walking with the Cancer this next 28-day cycle? Show me. Alright, Cancer, your card, your spirit animal for this full moon is the bear. Oh, we love it. Alright, earth energy, beautiful, protective. The bear indicates a period, it's the animal spirit that presents itself when you're coming out of a slumber, out of a period, you're coming out of maybe perhaps a period of rest. You're now coming into a stage in your life of increased spirituality and enlightenment, right? It could be that you've been kind of in a stasis period for a little while in terms of all of that. Perhaps you haven't been kind of following your spiritual path for some time, right? The bear is also very kind of protective energy. You know, the mother bear, the typical mother bear, you know, she's the one who will do anything to protect her cub, right? So it's very maternal, very nurturing. It's an awakening period. The bear comes along when when it's time to awaken, right? When it's time, it could be that you just felt kind of stagnant for some period. You know, you're on the cusp now of kind of like taking a step towards some personal transformation, you know. May have been a period of just kind of like not really moving forward with your personal growth. You know, you feel like you haven't moved forward with your personal growth, you know. It could be that it's kind of slow moving, just like the bear is when he's waking up from his long kind of like hibernation, right? It does feel like coming out of a hibernation, you know. Certainly, you know, bear energy, it's like you almost have no choice, right? This is not really so much a choice. You know, the bear doesn't really choose. It wakes up. It's a natural thing that happens. So you know, it's also not even so much that you've made a choice to kind of have this personal transformation or to embark on this personal growth. It's kind of happening to you regardless, you know. It's an energy that's coming into your life, you know, whether you wish it to or not, in a positive way, right? It's like you just can't help but be transformed because of the things that are happening to you right now. Let's get your cards out, Cancer. What Cancer's going through this beautiful harvest period, this full moon in Sagittarius period of June. What's the next 28-day cycle look like for our Cancers, especially with this incredible bear energy, incredible forward momentum? Show me. Like I always say, I've already been meditating and shuffling your cards for quite some time before I started filming, so we can get right into it. Get your cards out. Center, you have 10, completion. Yeah, that's it. And 3 of Swords, yeah. What did I say? It's been, and interestingly enough, right? we're going to get right into it, but I already can see 10 of Pentacles. It's all about tens. Of course it is, right? Tens are all about completion, ending one cycle. This is what I said about bear energy. This is the transformation that's going to happen to you regardless, Cancer. This is a beautiful energy. I already can feel it from the center card and from the spirit animal that's come out for you. This is a period where you are coming to the end of a long stage of either being in one particular state in your life, right? And it could have been quite a chaotic state, right? But it was very much a stage in your life, right? It could have also been just a stage in your life where there was nothing really much happening, where you almost felt like you were stagnating to a certain degree, right? A lot of that could have caused you some pain as well, but you're certainly coming out of that now. Certain things are coming through. You have 10 of Swords at the center of your reading. 10 of Swords talks about the end of a long stage, the end of a long battle, you know, a war really, a long war with multiple battles along the way, right? All of these swords and the scars, these are all the little battle scars along the way of this war that's been waged, right? And it's not even a war that either you've won or lost. It's simply over. You realize that you have everything you need to now end this, to just stop, you know, to move forward. 10 of Swords is a death, really, in a way. I wouldn't be surprised if the death card shows up in this reading, because it is a death of the ego. It's a death of who you were. You come out of this period a new person. You come out of it very completely almost transformed, I would say. Certainly as the bear energy is behind you, on, you know, beside you, urging you forward, you certainly will come out of this transformed. 3 of Swords is talking about a heartbreak, right? It talks about heartbreak as a result of negative communication, miscommunication, lying. It's not necessarily so much a break of the heart so much, like it's more or less it's more a betrayal. It's the betrayal that hurts you in 3 of Swords, right? It's the it's the fact that you may have been manipulated or lied to. Your ego hurts. Your ego is hurt and your heart is hurt as a result of it. But 3 of Swords is very much a case of a manipulative kind of situation that has hurt you, right? It's a Swords card. At the bottom, King of Swords is coming in. Yep, there you go. You're coming out hard and strong. Like a King of Swords, certainly like a King of Swords energy. I want to pull a couple of these. There you go. All right, I wanted to see where we were going. I wanted to pull some cards ahead. Absolutely coming out like the King of Swords. You are on top of your game. You have almost been, like I say, this transformation is going to leave you feeling very much like this. You can almost feel this energy coming through in your subconscious, in the back of your mind, right? Leadership, you find your feet, right? You find your feet, Cancer. You find your, I don't want to say backbone, but you find your strength. You find your strength to be able to stand up for yourself, to be able to stand your ground, right? Defend your position with individuals, with people, right? This is very much a case of, you know, when people were always may have pushed you around, you're not going to be pushed around anymore. You won't be told what to think anymore. You know, I mean, this is very much like, I don't want to make it sound like you were a kid or something like this. This can be at any stage in your life that you just, you know, when you have allowed people to perhaps maybe get over on you more than you'd like, you're just not for it anymore. There's love has come into your life. I think this new love has come into your life, and perhaps this may be one of the reasons that it's brought you out of this period. It's brought you into this kind of transformative period. This new love, Ace of Cups, right? Beautiful. And I think that perhaps sometimes new love, right? New love or new projects, anything that sparks our passion or our heart can be the impetus for change. It can be the impetus to get us up and out, to finally complete a cycle. 10 of Pentacles being there, meaning that you get everything that you wanted financially as well. You have certainly been in hermit mode, right? So this is what I was talking about, certainly again with your spirit animal. You've been very much the hibernating bear, the hermit, right? You've been off on your own. You've been reflecting, not really dealing with people so much, Yes, and there's the Hanged Man. You feel certainly, not only have you gone into hermit mode, but you certainly feel as though you've been stuck for quite some time. You know, you've been in this one position. It's time for you to change. Again, the Hanged Man comes out in readings when you realize it's time for a change. When you have already, it's not so much like, oh, you know, you don't know that. You know that. The Hangman always shows up for those individuals who have already sensed that it's time to make a forward step, right? You've already sensed that. You've already woken up. Now it is just but for you to actually come down off of that perch and have that forward momentum, right? Being risky. This card came out for the last reading as well for Libra. Seven of Swords talks about risky behavior. You know, wanting to be so quick to attain your dreams and goals that you don't take the time to plan them properly. You know, you attain them too quickly. They don't, you know, you don't attain them the way you should. You don't work hard enough for it. You don't put the planning and things into it. It's hasty energy. It's impatiently wanting what you want, right? And you want to take care for that. This is in your conscious, but your subconscious is very much King of Swords, who is extremely methodical and patient, right? Careful. So you just want to watch out. I think you understand this about yourself. You know this is you. Perhaps Cancer, you realize this is what you're like. You also have come out of a Hanged Man. So sometimes when we come out of Hanged Man, we want to rush forward with our goals, and we do. We head for, here we go. I can't believe it. 10 of Cups. That's your third 10. This is your third 10 in the reading, Cancer. This is absolutely a period of divine kind of completion. Karmic cycles are burning off. You are closing karmic loops. You're paying off karmic debt. You are certainly ready for the next stage. It can't be helped. Like I said, bear energy comes in. It's like you can't help it, right? You have 3 of the 10s, 5 of Major Arcana, the Hierophant. Beautiful. So you're coming out of your stasis and you're making a renewed commitment to your spiritual growth. It's a renewed commitment. This is very much a next stage self-realization, Cancer. There's the Emperor. Wow. This is probably one of the most beautiful readings I've done in quite some time. I don't even know how to kind of, you know, I love it when cards come out and they're this beautiful. The Emperor is in, so there you go. Leader, stability. You come out of this stable, you come out of this, the king of the castle, you come out of this on top with respect, right? Whatever you've been through, you're coming out of this like shining. You know what I mean? You're coming out of this so strong. Very, very, very strong. All right? Your renewed commitment to your spiritual growth is incredible. Right? You just can't help it. It's like, and this is not something, there's nothing for you to do here. Were these 9s, I would say you need to dig deep and do this last little step. The completion is almost just upon you. If it hasn't started happening, it will be happening. There's nothing else for you to do. It's almost as if it's one of those type of things. You've done everything you needed to do, and now this stage will unfold for you. Right? When you get 10s, it's an unfolding of the environment around you. You've done everything you need to do. You've reached completion. Now you will start to see around you and in yourself, you will start to see the fruits of that change and the beginnings of the next stage. That's why I think you got the Bear, because Bear talks about certainly about self-transformation that comes over you, whether you know, without any of your, you know, you controlling it, right? It's it happens to you, right? So this is it. I mean, let's get some clarity on these cards. I don't know what else to say. You have love coming in, the essence of love, right? Ace of Cups is the essence of love. I'm not even talking about any like one particular relationship, but it's like everything works out for you. You have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Everything is coming in for you, right? Everything. You're a whole new person. Your relationships ascend to the next level. There's healing in the family. There's healing with friends. Money comes in where there perhaps may not have been as much before. More money comes in. More authority on your behalf comes in. Show me some clarity on this. Show me some deeper insight on this reading for Cancer. This beautiful transformative period for Cancer. Show me. Very much a full moon reading. Like I said, a harvest, right? Your harvest is coming in, Cancer. Show me. Alright, we got 8 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords. There's your 10 of Swords. Ace of Cups. There's your Ace of Cups. Magician. Perfect. 10 of Wands. There's your 10 of Wands. That's your fourth 10. You got all 4 of them. And your 4 of Swords. Unbelievable, Cancer. 3 of Swords. There's your 3 of Swords as well. Coming in to clarify. Look, at the bottom, behind the 3 of Swords, you have the Tower. Beautiful. Big changes. 3 of Swords is clarifying. Yeah, there was some harm. There was some heartache. There was some sorrow, right? This energy, this sorrow, though, is almost as if, like, you remember it, right? But you're not led by it. You're not pained by it. It's almost as if it's one of those things, like, you're looking back. Had you not done that, had you not hurt me the way you hurt me, I would not be where I am at today. You know, it's almost as if you're thanking your enemies for putting you where you were. Had it not been for this heartache, whatever this heartache was, and you know what I'm talking about, Cancer, you would have not, something would not, the dominoes would not have been put in place for where you are at now, which is such an incredible place to be. Let's get right into it. 8 of Cups, certainly moving past relationships that no longer serve you. King of Swords, like I said, you are no longer being pushed over. 8 talks about boundaries and setting boundaries. Talks about knowing your weaknesses and your strengths, having criteria that people have to fulfill in order to be in your life. You know, discerning, having a higher discernment of people and individuals that you allow to get close to you. You know, requiring a deeper connection rather than a shallow connection. And coming in on top of that, King of Swords is absolutely appropriate, because the King of Swords is no longer entertaining bullshit. The King of Swords knows who he is. Like I said, you're asserting yourself, and you're certainly asserting yourself in love relationships. It makes absolute sense that this heartache is what's led to all of this, right? So you're ascending to a higher level in love. 9 of Swords is coming in over this new love. There might be a little bit of anxiety that you're having right now, and that's okay. We all have anxiety. 9 of Swords talks about putting yourself through a little bit of unnecessary torment. Just remember, these 9 of Swords are not rooted in anything real that's happening. There's no real reason for you to be worried. This love, this Ace of Cups, this love coming in is legitimate. This is just a hangover from the heartache you had before, all right? Let it wash through you, get over it, you know, and throw it away, okay? So these are the nagging little doubts. Don't worry about them. They're nagging little doubts. 9 of Swords comes up to show us that whatever it is we're worried about, we need not worry about, all right? It is our own kind of like self-torment that we're putting ourselves through without any root in reality. 6 of Cups, what did I say? It seems like a new love. This 8 of Cups is what's brought you out of your shell. 6 of Cups comes in to clarify the Hermit. So certainly, yeah. 6 of Cups talks about moving toward harmony in relationships. It's a beautiful relationship. It's a deep, pleasurable relationship where every part of it is enjoyable. Communication, sex, just being around each other. It's just like this. It's just such a joy to be around this person. 6 of Cups is also twin flame, soulmate energy. So whoever's come in for you, that spark, this is what I said earlier, that Ace of Cups spark is certainly, I believe, what led to this coming out, to this next, I guess, entering into this final stage. There's your 10 of Swords, completion, right? Completing a long cycle, and you've woken up. You've woken up the Hanged Man. He's realizing now it's time to come down. He's realizing he's been hanging upside down for quite some time, right? He's ready to move towards you know, his desires. He's ready to move. He's ready to do more. He's done with settling for less. He's ready to be a whole new person. And certainly that's what 10 of Swords talks about. 10 of Swords is a ruining of the old ego. It's a ruining of who you used to be in favor of who you'd like to be. The new you. Absolutely beautiful. Ace of Cups is coming in. Yeah, you know, this lover, this Ace of Cups, right? So that's your clarification for the 7 of Swords. That's why you're feeling a little hasty. You want to lock this down. You want to lock this love down, this relationship down. Don't be too hasty. Take your time. right? Take your time, okay? I know this Ace of Cups has got your mind like all up in a tizzy. You're very excited. You feel renewed. You're feeling young. You feel like so ready to be done with all the other bullshit and lay down your burdens and baggage. Just take care. Seven of Swords talks about rushing to our dreams too quickly. All right? Take your time. Lay the groundwork. Magician, you do feel like you can manifest whatever you want, right? You've come through full circle. Here you are. And now you are on top of the world. You are the Magus and exalted. The exalted magician in the Thoth deck. Thoth deck has 3 magicians. This is the most exalted one. The one that who is at his highest in terms of manifesting and just dancing through life. You feel wonderful. You feel the possibility of having everything you ever wanted, which is like a family, a long enduring relationship. Yes, you're and here we go. And this is what I said earlier. This is your final 10. This is the first time in a long time that all 4 tens have shown up in a reading to indicate a complete self-transformation. Your recommitment to your spiritual growth has allowed you to lay down some baggage. You're laying down baggage. 10 of Wands talks about oppression, talks about laying down oppression. You know, laying down your baggage, being done with it. You're done with it. You're pushing through. You're expanding. You're realizing that you no longer have to hold on to the doubts, the fears of the past. They no longer apply to you. Saturn and Sagittarius energy. 10 of Wands is Saturn and Sagittarius energy. Certainly talking about breaking the bonds that have held us, that have made us feel fearful. It's the recommitment to your spiritual side. It's the recommitment to your faith. Perhaps the re-energizing of your faith that's allowed you to remove these hang-ups and baggage that you've carried for so long. Like I said, this is going to be a transformation that happens to you. You have done the work. Now is the time to reap the rewards. 4 of Swords is coming in over the 4. The Emperor. 4 talks about stability. The Emperor is the most stable in the major arcana, right? He's the leader. He's the leader of men on earth. 14, the next 4 is Temperance. That's the leader of that's when you command yourself, right? When you're in command of your own feelings and emotions, right? And passions. That's the second 4. The first 4 is Emperor. He has command over men. He has the leadership quality, right? Aries energy. 4 of Swords also talks about truce. Talks about waiting, taking your time, being stable in your thoughts, right? And that's what it is for you, right? You're coming into your Emperor energy and you're realizing how to take your time, how to be more methodical, right? Sorry, I have to take a sip of coffee. Iced coffee. Okay, so 4 of Swords is beautiful. It's also truce in a way, you know, because in this deck, I love using different decks because it really highlights the varied meanings of each card. The cards are so, you know, tarot cards are very in-depth in terms of all the sides of their meanings. And one of them with 4 of Swords is truce, calling a truce, you know, deciding to agree to disagree, right? Realizing that battling is not worth it. Sometimes it's better to retreat to your corner and rethink things, re-strategize, have a new perspective, right? It's excellent energy for Emperor as well, because that's what the Emperor does. He does everything with the focus of remaining stable and remaining in charge and remaining intact, right? Keeping keeping his authority intact, right? Stable. Certainly with 4 of Swords, that's what you're doing as well with your speech, with your thought. You're working more towards stability at all times. This is such a wonderful reading. I knew it was going to be great when I saw the spirit animal come out with the bear and with your center card being 10 of Swords. I am so thrilled for you, Cancer. This is really a great period for you. You're going to go through a lot of self-transformation. Like I said, it's happening to you. You can't help it. There's nothing you have to do now. There's no, I can't say, there's no need for me to say, hey, do this, or pluck up the strength to carry. You've done everything you needed to do. The universe is now bringing you your rewards. You do, however, need to still be more aware, right? Aware, and take your time. 7 of Swords, remember, take your time with this lover. Don't be too hasty because everything is working out for you, okay? Still, this is a great reading. If it resonated with you guys, please like, subscribe, share below. Sound off in the comments. Please, I love those comments. I do reply to them. But for right now, I'm just going to call it as a wonderful full moon for Cancer. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.